I'm home.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I was supposed to be on site all this week, but we had a water main break, so we had no washrooms. So,
Isn't that
and we
too
were
bad?
down. Yeah.
No, it's better
So,
that you're at home, right? It's kind of.
Oh gosh, yeah. I wasn't in the mood to be trucking. We had to go probably from about here to David Harrington's to use the bathroom.
Oh
That's
my
how far.
boy,
Yeah, so
for some people, you'd never make it.
We're live.
I
So.
know. I know. And I'm getting to that point. And of course you have to watch, you got to only walk one way in the building. And when you have to
because of
run.
COVID. Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, we've got 10 o'clock. So good morning, council, and to the public, welcome. We're really pleased to have you as part of our meeting. If you're watching, I just want to say a quick hello to Carl's sister. She lives in Kitchener. Her name is Gwen, and she watched our meeting last time. So Gwen, on behalf of council, we welcome you as far as Kitchener. Okay, so we're going to go into the public meeting, and I want to call it to order. Does any member of council have any pecuniary or financial interest? The purpose of the meeting is to discuss bylaw 30/2020, being a bylaw to provide for the stopping up and closing of part of an allowance for road along Round Lake, fronting lot 19, concession 6, being part of the original shoreline road allowance, fronting lot 19, concession 6, being parts 5 and 6, plan 49R-19491, Township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards. B, to discuss bylaw 31/2020, being a bylaw for the stopping up and closing of part of an allowance for road along Round Lake, fronting lot 19, concession 6, being part of the original shoreline, fronting lot 19, concession 6, being part 2, plan 49R-164, Township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards. And C, to discuss bylaw 33/2020, being a bylaw to provide for the stopping up and closing of part of an allowance for road along Brennan's Creek, being part 2 on reference plan 49R-16817, Township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards. Sue, have all the necessary notices been complied with?
Yes.
Okay, so we do have correspondence then from Public Works.
We also did receive correspondence from Hydro One and Bell Canada, all saying they had no problem with these shoreline road allowance.
Okay, was there any negative comments from anybody? The public, no one?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, so we have no delegations regarding it. Any members of council, have you any questions or comments regarding the A, B, and C, the purpose of the meeting?
No.
Okay, well, thank you very much then. I would ask for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Debbie, seconded by Ted. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay, so then we're going to move right into our regular meeting, special meeting. I want to call it to order. Does any member have any pecuniary or financial interest? Ted, you can do so at the time. Thank you. Duly noted. You've had an opportunity to see the minutes of July the 6th, 2020. Is there any errors or omissions to those minutes? Brian? You're on mute. Brian, you're on mute.
Sorry about that.
No
Okay,
problem.
yeah, on the minutes where the part where we, Dean, Holly, and myself met with Lori about Eno Road there. It says that we're going to go ahead and put some topsoil down, which Dean's guys will be doing, but we are not going to be planting shrubs and cedars. That would be up to Mrs. Eno to do if she so desires.
Okay, duly noted. So
you have to change the wording there a little bit.
okay, thank you, Brian, for catching that. That's good. So Sue noted then that we changed that. It'll be up to her to provide that.
Yeah.
Anything further on the minutes? Thank you, Brian, for that good catch. Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes as amended. Moved by Debbie, seconded by Carl. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Carried, thank you. So we're going to go on to reports, and the first one is our CAO. So Sue, could you give us your report, please?
Okay. Everybody got a copy of the draft financial Killaloe water drinking system. I don't know if you want to wait until correspondence or talk about it now.
No, we can talk about it now. I know
Okay.
that I know Mr. Keel has read the whole report, so as chair of the water, so that's really great. Carl, thank you for doing that. And go ahead, Sue, then, please.
Okay, so, and I talked to Will Barr. So in my memo, I've talked to Will Barr and provided some information for council to consider. That financial plan, they're looking to increase the rates by 6% for the next 5 years. So that will put us into a surplus, which would include the hydro. If council decided to go only, you know, any other kind of percentage, we would have to consider where the hydro cost would be absorbed through the budgeting process. So I don't know if you want to, you know, go any further on that. I put the chart in there of what the costs to increase it by 6%. I also am suggesting that Will and I talked, and the sewage rates have not been increased since 2009. And they are getting close to
That's 11 years, yeah.
yeah, and they're getting close to the, you know, they're each year it's reducing the surplus.
Okay.
I know that we would have to have a public meeting if you decided, whichever way you decided. So I'm bringing it for councils.
Okay, so Carl and I spoke about this, and maybe Carl, if you, Ted, are you on that committee? Do you know? Yeah, okay, so Ted, Brian, are you on that committee? I thought Brian was the other one.
Oh, it's me.
Oh, who? Stanley? Okay. I'm wondering if we could have a meeting, and I spoke to Carl about this last night. So, and then maybe we could come back with a recommendation. This is a big step. And I think we should look at all the options and talk about it and then come back to council with a recommendation. So if council is okay with that, I don't think we should make a decision here today. Just based on, I think we should review it and see what we could do and how we should do it. And we're allowed now to have a meeting. We could do it by Zoom, or, you know, the few of us can come in because we're allowed to have the numbers now, as long as we're social distancing and we're apart. So I don't know what council's wishes. Carl agreed, he's the chair. He agreed that that would be okay. And he has read the report, so he'd be able to be the expert in the room and advise us where we're going with that. So is council okay if we call the meeting and then we can make a decision after we've had that meeting and a recommendation will come to council? Anybody against? If you are, pick your hand up, please. Okay, I see none. Okay, so Carl, I'm going to leave that to your hands. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because we're to the water system, we're always having to draw out our reserves to come out even with the water plant, and we're going to have to do something.
The other thing is, I attended the Ottawa River Power meeting, and normally we get dividends because, okay, and this year because of COVID, they don't think that we're going to be able to get any money at all. So we always counted on that money to help us and the people of Killaloe. We put it into that reserve so that we have money to take some of the hits and increases. Well, they informed me that the likelihood is we're not going to get anything this year because of COVID. And so we're facing that. We won't be getting any of that money that, you know, we normally helps us through. So that's something that the committee can look at as well then, because we won't have that backup. I hate raising the rates right now, but I don't know what else we can do, or we don't have the money to look after those systems unless, and it has to be user pay. So anyways, it's something the committee can look at. Is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Are you going to set a meeting up like right now, or?
Carl, do you want to do that right now?
Yep, anytime for me.
Okay. What's the urgency? Sorry, what's the urgency, Sue? And I know Teddy's got away, so he.
I know the financial plan. It's a 5-year, and it has to be adopted this
year. So
I think
it's a good time for the committee then to meet
Yes.
and review all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, Teddy, what's your schedule like? Could you come during the day, or is it better for you at night?
I could probably take some time in the day.
Okay, what if we did it, well, we could do it like in an afternoon, like 1 o'clock, so you could work the morning, or we could do it at 10 or 9 and you could work the afternoon.
The afternoon would be better, and I would suggest that we do meet at the council chambers.
Yes,
I
okay.
do too.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, all right, so I'm back home. What about the 5th of August? Now we have a meeting the next day. If we met then, we could make some recommendations the next day.
Sounds good.
10
Yep.
o'clock on August the 5th, to those that sit on that committee. So Stanley, Ted, and Carl, and myself.
Can
10
we do
o'clock.
it at 1?
Sorry?
Can we do it at 1?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I thought you said, okay, 1 o'clock. Yes. Sorry, Ted. You did tell
Oh,
me
that's
that.
all right.
I apologize. Okay, so August the 5th at 1 o'clock here at the township to the committee, and we'll do social distancing and the masks and all of that. Okay. All right, Sue, what else on your?
I received an email from Dan Hagan from Greenville Environmental, just saying that our 19 data call has been completed. We achieved a 44% diversion rate, and he's saying the township is doing a fantastic job. 44% diversion rate for the municipality of our size is amazing, and you and your staff should well be commended.
And you are, and I want to make sure that the staff, Dean, I know you're on somewhere. Dean, I want you to pass that on to the waste site attendants, because they need to hear that. And I want the public that's watching and hearing, congratulations. That's not an achievement for council. It's an achievement for the public, that the cooperation we're receiving. And I know Stanley and I have gone to workshops and a conference, and other municipalities are not even half of what we are. So congratulations to everybody, and council for your direction and your insight to be able to move things forward and get things done. So congratulations. And to the public, I want to thank them for everything that they're doing to make our diversion rate such a high one. So congratulations. Thank you, Sue.
Okay. Will dropped off copies of the financial reports and the FIRs for 2019, a hard copy. So if any council member would like them, they're in my office. I can forward them to them.
Thank you.
2 bills were given royal assent on July the 21st. Bill 195, an act to enact the reopening of Ontario. Bill 197, an act to amend various statutes in response to COVID-19. I haven't had a chance to fully review them. There are some things that in there that there's now going to be amendments to the Municipal Act to allow for electronic meetings and proxy voting. You know, we will have to review our procedural bylaw. Also,
And council, it's not mandatory. So council will, we'll have to look at those and decide whether or not, what our approach is. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later when we talk about COVID and the changes. So thank you, Sue. And council will have to make some decisions based on the new information. So go ahead.
And just a couple other things. 3 month validity for marriage license. They've extended that for COVID. The Education Act is like, there's 18 different acts that have been amended in Bill 197.
So council, the Premier Ford had a teleconference with the mayors of Ontario, and I took part in that conference call. It was a really good call. He talked about some of the changes that are coming forward, and he did talk about looking at proxy voting. So if you couldn't come to a council meeting, you could give your vote to another member of council, and they could exercise it on your behalf. That's what they're looking into. They're looking right now. The only way we can have Zoom meetings is because of the emergency order. If they lift that emergency order, then until they pass legislation, we cannot have Zoom meetings and vote. and those kind of things. So that's something that the government's looking at extending, if that's something that council is interested for the future. They're looking at changes to the Building Act, the building code, and those weren't real. I thought they were very, anyways, just more red tape and more concern I have about building and the costs involved for people that are going to start building something. So, but that's the changes that they're going to be forwarding. He mentioned quite a few items in his when he was talking to us, but no details. So they don't have the fine details on any of that. And then later on today, we're going to talk about opening things up because of that call and what he announced to us. So, and then we'll be making some recommendations, the staff and I, as we proceed. So it was a really good conference. Mayor Murphy from Boncher Valley was given an opportunity to ask a question. So she spoke with the Premier, just thanking him and anything that we in Renfrew County could do to assist him in moving forward. So a lot of good questions. And of course, everyone's scared about how we can move on and get through the approach because of COVID. So it was a good meeting. So, okay, Sue, anything else?
We have a new municipal advisor now, Lois
Oh,
Jackson. She was at our CAO meeting on Wednesday. She went through some of the stuff I've been talking about. Also that Premier Ford announced money for municipalities, but we
Yes.
don't know what our allocation will be yet.
That's right. So the federal government announced money to go to the province, and the province is going to share some of that with the municipalities, but we don't know how much yet.
No.
So that was really good news on Mr. Premier. He said they were trying to negotiate that deal with the federal government. So that was really good news.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, Sue.
No, sorry. The only other thing that I have is I have Dale's report because he's in a training session. So do you wait for his time, or would you like me to?
He told me that he was in training. Did he say what time he'd be out?
It's going till noon.
Okay, I have another meeting at 1, so
he did provide his report to me that I could read it.
Yeah, okay. Why don't you do that at his spot then, if you wouldn't mind just reading it to council? If we have any questions, we can jot them down and give it to him later.
Yeah.
He did talk to me about that.
Yeah. The only other thing is recommendations from the EOCG meeting that we're, going to recommend to council regarding COVID. So that's in Chris's presentation.
That's in Chris's presentation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Sue?
No, that's
Council,
good.
any questions for Sue on anything that she said? Okay. Well, thank you very much. All right. Good morning, Dean. How are you?
Fine, yourself?
Good. Can I have your report, please?
Sure. We're just doing regular maintenance right now. Coal patching, grading, grass cutting, etc. along the shoulders of the roads. Since everybody's seen that tractor with the brusher on it, we've had several requests of roads wanting to get brushed. I did tell people they have to be patient because you can only do so much in a day, in a year. So we're just working with that right now. Culverts installed as of right now is in Cardinal Road, Elm Street. At the end of the summer, probably end of August, 1st of September, we'll be installing a few more as well. Crack sealing was completed last week, along with the repair of the dry catch basin in front of on Mill Street. Just an update on the grader. There's a specialized technician coming down today from Ottawa. He worked on this piece of equipment for quite some time. So they figured if he's down here today, if all goes well, it should be operational, it should be shortly. We're managing right now, like we had talked about in the past, with the 2 drag blades behind the truck. We did have to rent a grader for a day to get some of the hills and stuff, but we are managing right now. I do have access if we do need to get a grader from a company from Pembroke. But as of right now, we should be stable so far, unless something turns differently in the future. But I don't see it happening, but I just wanted to let council know and be aware of that.
It's just when we get heavy rain and it washes out, then we need a grader. So that's, Dean's kind of his problem there. Yeah, the grader, they put it all together. We thought we were ready to go, and then something else, the hydraulics, something happened with the hydraulics. So then they had to, take it all apart again. So Dean's been trying to get this kind of completed so we can get the grader back, but he's managing well. So thank you, Dean. Is there
Yeah,
anything else?
we've been pushing quite hard at them to get them going, saying that we're not happy with it, and neither is council, just because, and our ratepayers, because they drive the roads every day as well. So
Yes, good. Well done, Dean.
okay, just an update then on the new half ton that'll be coming in. He just received the plow harness for it, so his guy is off this week. So next week he's hoping to have the plow harness put on it, and hopefully, if everything goes well, we should have the new truck by next week.
Good.
Okay, just another update on waste management. Stanley, did you want to touch on that first for the C&D, or would you like me to go ahead with my report?
Yeah, there, Dean, about what we spoke about on those 2 loads of C&D that went out.
Yes, Stanley and I did chat about this.
That pile, to me, like he had very close, if not entirely, half of it moved. So if those figures are working out with Dan there, I can't see a better route to take than that to move that stuff. Because we got nails pretty heavy there last year on that grinding. It was double to what we made the year before, which brought us around 30 or just over 30 grand. Then we still ended up, you had to truck it then from there to Red Rock site. That's another major cost. This way, if we can load it and get it out of there, it sounds to me like we could pretty near move it off of our waste site for about the same cost as what it costs us to grind it. So I think that's the route we should be kind of looking at. So did you have a chance to talk to Dan on that, or how he felt there?
Yeah, I did talk. Sorry.
Go ahead, Dean. Sorry.
Yeah, I did talk to Dan briefly, Stanley, about that. So I could give you kind of a brief description of what's kind of going on here. So June 8th, 2020, the company there from Bancroft came in and took 17.91 tons. They hauled it away for a total of $3,211.99 without tax, obviously. And on June 16th, they hauled 14.14 ton. So they took 32.05 ton within 2 loads. So just to give council and everybody a kind of a cost comparison, when we haul with our plow trucks to the Red Rock site, we're only hauling probably 4 to 5 ton per trip. We only do 6 trips per day. So I did it on the low end. So usually a tandem rate, like if you went to hire somebody, this could be from $90 to $100, but I did $80 just because it's ours. So you times that by 8, that's $640 a day, $3,200 a week. So that's usually it takes us 3 weeks. So it's $9,600 for 3 weeks, roughly, give or take. And that's only for 1 truck. That's not without the 3 other trucks that we need to haul. Like we can do it with a couple, but that's only 1 truck. So, we're saving more with our vehicles, not hauling that. It'll prolong the lifespan of our plow trucks as well, which means we won't have to, either trade them in or purchase them in the long run. So like that 3 weeks, you're only hauling, like I said, six loads a day for 1 truck. And these guys, like that's only 4 or 5 tons per trip. So these guys are hauling, like I said, anywhere from 17 to 15 or 14, kind of ton per trip. So, and like I said, Stanley, I think our RFP last year, like you said, it had doubled. So it was like $31,000 last year for the grinding. That's without hauling it to Red Rock. So, and then we wouldn't have to get all the surveys every year because the MOECC wants to know exactly how much goes into Red Rock. So we hire our consultant to go out there and they do their surveys. So that would not have to be, we wouldn't have to get it surveyed. And our dozer as well. We have to, we have to cover it with our dozer to pack it and level it off. So right there, it's a lot of manpower and it's a lot of money that we could probably save in the long run, and we will save.
Yeah, Dean did a really good report. So Stanley and I chatted about this, and we're going to also have to have a waste management meeting. We need to look at the fee structure that we have right now. The fees does not match the cost of what it is for us to work through that waste site. So we don't charge right now for leaves and needle, and that is causing a huge cost to the municipality, which the committee is going to have to look at and make a recommendation to council on how we want to proceed. Stanley and I and Dean, really good report, Dean and Stanley. Thank you for all your work on the project. But I really do believe, and I'm recommending to council, that we move forward and export that CD waste. Keep the little bit of life we have left at the site, at the Red Rock site, in case of an emergency. But it's more cost effective to export it. And that's what we were waiting for. We didn't want to make a recommendation to council until we found out the cost, and Dean worked through the numbers. And so the recommendation this morning is that we continue to export the C&D waste, that the waste management committee meet and talk about the fee structures to make sure that the fees match the cost that it costs the municipality to dispose of that. So does anybody have any questions, or I'm going to ask for a vote that we move as the recommendation that we continue to do the C&D waste export, and that the waste management committee meet to look at the fee structures on all items, and then we bring a recommendation to council. Anybody have any questions or comments before I call for the vote? All right, so all those in favor of my recommendation? Good, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. So Dean, that gives us direction then to move forward on that C&D waste. And then Stanley, I'll leave that up to you whenever you can. Who's on the waste management? Pick up your hand. Teddy, Brian, Stanley and I. Okay, so again, we'll have to talk about, now Teddy, maybe we could have a waste management meeting. If you want to take one day off, we could have it on the same day so that you only had to take the one day off, or we could split it up. I'm sure Stanley's okay with that if you'd like another afternoon.
Either way, it doesn't matter to me.
So Stanley, what if we met on the morning of the 5th of August? So then we're only doing it the one day and we're in?
Yeah,
Okay, so 10 o'clock on the 5th of August. So to the committee who's on there, could you pencil that in? And then Stanley, for the agenda, we're going to be looking at all the fee structure and making recommendations to council, because the bylaw would have to be changed. And and that's a huge, there's a lot of items there, so council would have to look at all of that. So is everybody okay with that direction? Okay, and Dean, I'd like if you could be there as well at that meeting on the 5th of August.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, anything else, Dean?
Just that letter and correspondence. I don't know if you want to wait till now, later, or from Shirley Prince.
Okay, I didn't, yeah. Let's wait till we get there. Okay, Dean?
Sounds good.
Okay, Ted?
Yeah, are we doing the waste management meeting in the council chambers as well?
Yes, we
Okay.
have the ability to do the social distancing there.
Perfect.
So we'll have it in the chambers that day. So we're only doing it the one day we're in and we can be out. Okay. Any questions for Dean? And we'll pay the bills later, Dean. So I don't want Ted to have to excuse. We'll go through the reports and then we can do it.
Sure.
Okay, any further comments or questions for Dean? Anything else, Dean?
Not at this time.
Thank you very much.
Brian has his hand up,
Oh,
Madam.
I'm sorry, Brian. Brian?
Just some comments for Dean there. Residents on Deer Trail Road said to pass on. They're very happy with the brushing or the grass cutting along the road. They're very pleased so he could pass it on to his workers.
Duly noted, Dean. That's nice when a taxpayer takes the time to thank our staff. That's very nice.
Yeah,
Anything- Oh, sorry,
sorry.
Dean. Go ahead.
just getting back to that, Brian. Yeah, right now we have the grass cutting head on it. So we can only do so much with that. So he did take it back as far as he could. But once we get the brusher head back on it after the grass along the shoulders of the roads, we'll be back there, because right now he's kind of in and out. There's a few spots that, you know, it kind of looks like he missed or whatever, but it's not that. We'll be back once we have the different head on it.
Yeah, I explained that to them. Yeah, they're very pleased with it.
Okay, anything further for Dean? Dean, anything further for council?
No,
Okay, we'll move on to Tyler, to the CBO bylaw enforcement officer. So Tyler, good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Could I have your report, please?
I'm just cresting over 50 issued building permits as of now. Estimated construction value is nearing $2 million in total for all the projects so far in the municipality. Have it still doing inspections and site visits daily. Still receiving a steady flow regarding zoning / allowable uses of property requests in reference to property sales and real estate. Folks are also still concerned about the recent official plan amendments, and questions are now coming back on tax certificate zoning requests about the OP implications. I answer them as best I can, and if I don't have the answers, I direct them to the OP or the county who does. And then the only other thing is the letter from Joy Smith that I understand council has. So I don't know what you guys want to discuss about
Can
that.
everybody find the correspondence from Joy Smith?
I just sent that this morning.
Okay, so did you give me a copy of it?
Yeah, it should be in your package. Yeah.
I apologize, council. I'm just looking for it. I just want to
And Sue, I can do Dale's if you want after I have his report too.
Okay, if you want to, that'd be great.
I apologize, Sue. I don't see it. Okay. Could somebody run me a copy of that, please, Sue? Thank you.
Yep.
No. Computer machine that came from now. Well, right here, it's right on top.
My apologies, council. I can't find my copy.
I got it here. I'm just printing it here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Don't talk what we got today, or
It was sent this morning.
it's right on top of that one you have in your hand.
Yeah, I don't have it. Okay, thank you. I looked at it this morning. You showed it to me, but I don't have it. Okay. So this was an email sent to Tyler. Thank you, Sue. And so you all have it in front of you. Is there any questions that we should respond to Ms. Smith? And so I'm wondering what council's wishes are on that.
Yes, where does this Miss Smith live? What zone or what ward? Do we know?
Tyler, do you know that?
I don't know that, no. I've never spoken to her before besides this email.
Well, I just have I have concerns with her letter. If there's 5 other counselors out there she can contact, we represent everybody. We just don't represent our wards. I don't like the way she's trying to make our council look by this letter. But I don't even think we should respond. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, if that's council's wishes. Anybody else have any comment on that email? Well, we all know about the building across. It's not in our, we don't own it, so we can't tear buildings down that we have no ownership for. And we have to go through and council is aware of that. And you're right, Ted, if council's wishes are that we not respond, then I won't even take time to respond this morning. So a show of hands that we not respond. Oh, Brian?
Isn't that building being looked into by Tyler already anyways?
That's correct. Yeah, we're going through the process and we're looking at it, but the public has to understand that it's a huge undertaking. It's just, you cannot take people's land and destroy them or put them down. It's in a private ownership. There's issues there. So council's been working on this for a few years. It can't happen overnight. There's a lot of legal litigation issues there. And we do support our businesses. But is there any other comments or questions? I'm going to call for the vote that we not respond as per the recommendation by Mr. Brown. All those in favor? Everybody. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Tyler. Anything else?
Nothing else from my end. I can do Dale's report if there's no questions.
Is there any questions of Tyler on his report? Okay, so go ahead with Dale's then, please.
So Dale has the library addition is moving along well. The exterior of the building is 95% completed. Drywall is hung and being taped and mudded. They're looking to be on track to be 95% completed by the end of July. The fire hall progress, the tender closes today at 3:00 p.m. this afternoon, and we'll be opening them up at 3:15 p.m. Greenview will take copies of the bids and review them, ask contractors questions, and come back with their recommendations on August 6th. And then he has communications investigation. They had a meeting yesterday with Greenview and SEMA. SEMA presented a draft copy of their findings and recommendations to how to fix the communications issues we have been having. And after reviewing with Greenview, the draft copy will be reviewed again, and we will get a final copy of their recommendation. SEMA has given 3 options on how to solve the problems. And that's his report.
Okay, is there any questions for Dale that we can pass on? All right, thank you, Tyler, for doing that for us. Okay, then we're moving on to Bob. Bob, are you on the line?
That I am.
How are
How's
you?
everybody today? Everyone good?
We're all
I'm
good.
doing fine.
How are you? Fine?
I'm
Okay.
fine, yeah.
Okay, go ahead with your
Okay.
report.
Okay, we got some COVID numbers for you in Renfrew County. We haven't had a new case in a while. We're confirmed at 27 cases. 26 of them are resolved, and we've had 1 death. Out of those 27 cases, 8 were in Arnprior and area. 1 was in Barry's Bay and area, 1 in Deep River and area, 4 in Pembroke and area, 3 in Petawawa, and 10 in Renfrew and area for a total of 27. Now, when we look at these numbers haven't changed, so you're going to get a fixed total and a nice 100%. 26 out of the 27 are resolved for a 96.3 resolution rate. And of course, with the 1 deceased, that's 3.7%. That's what we got in Renfrew. In Ontario, we have, as of yesterday, 38,107 cases. 33,812 are resolved with 2,755 deaths. The resolution rate is 88.73% for Ontario. Okay, the death rate is 7.23%. If you add those together, you're going to have less than 100, but that's because we get different reporting until people, get resolved and test results get out, etc. So until everything is stabilized, you won't get to 100. Nationally, we have 112,000 cases for all of Canada. Resolution of 98,042 with 8,868 deaths. Resolution on this is 87.54%. So, and 8% for the death. So the death rate's a little higher than Ontario at 7.23, but you'll see that Renfrew at 96 resolved, Ontario at 88.7 resolved, national at 87.54 resolved. Now we go internationally. A little bit of a different scene. Confirmed cases at 15,232,783. Resolution at 9,196,995 with 622,556 deaths. So your resolution rate here is down to 60.38% and your death rate at 4.09%. So you can see Canada overall is looking good against a lot of others. Okay, wildfire hazard report. We have right now, out of the 6 factors, 1, 2, 3, 4 are at low and 2 are at moderate. So the overall assessment right now is low. Now, did you want me to talk about fire lanes now or during Chris's report or what?
Let's wait till Chris's report. So he'll give out everything and then we can deal with each issue then, okay? Bob, thank you.
That's what I got.
Okay. Any comments or, oh, Ted?
Yeah, I just like to thank the fire department there, North Algona. We came down for a training session and Elmer and Rick taught us there, and it was very informative for our guys. Good training, and it helps us out a lot. And also Bob, we have a tentative date set for October 25th for a big training, or the 24th for a big training at Oakham's. I'll get in touch with you.
Saturday?
It's a Saturday. Well, I'll get in touch with you and see if you guys are interested once we get more plans.
That's really
Okay.
good. Yeah, Ted, thank you so much. And I agree. I spoke with the mayor of North Algona, and it's wonderful to see when we can share and work together through the municipality. So we had some expertise on the fire hydrant issue. So Rick and who was the other one that went? Delmer? Rick and Delmer. So make sure they know that we appreciate that they are able to pass that knowledge on to another municipality. So Mayor Brose was very happy to hear that we were doing some sharing in that department. So Bob, to you and the department, thank you. Any other comments for Bob before I move on? Okay, good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So Chris has a big report at our senior management meeting. As you know, everybody's sitting quiet because they're scared I'm going to give them a job. And I passed this huge job on to Chris to talk about the new bill and the new stage 3. And he was kind enough to agree to pass it on. So he's kind of representing all the issues that each other department head would have, but we combined it in his report. So Chris, I really want to thank you for stepping right into that and appreciate that you're taking the time to give council that full report and making some recommendations. Chris has done a lot of research. He talks to the health unit regularly to make sure that what we do, what we're recommending to council is safe and within the guidelines of the province, but yet keeping our community safe and our staff. So Chris, thank you very much. And you could go ahead with your report, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Sue. If you could just allow me to share my screen here. Thank you. Here we go. Can everybody see that?
Everybody okay?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. So this first piece, this is a grant that I'm working on right now called the Digital Transformation Grant. So what is it? It's the DMS is a program focused on assisting Main Street small businesses with adoption of technologies. Through a partnership with FedDev Ontario and the province of Ontario, grant opportunities are available to enable this digital transformation process. The Digital Transformation Grant Program will provide funding and training, advisory support, and grants to Main Street small businesses looking to increase their capacity through the digital transformation. So just so everybody knows, the Main Street doesn't actually mean you have to be on the Main Street. There's a bunch of definitions for that. And I've gone into detail about that and figured out what businesses qualify. So just so if you're wondering for that. So it's 2 parts, basically, this grant. One, the $2,500 to support digital transformation. And what can you do with that? So digital marketing, website redesign, software, digital training, and hardware. And then the second part of that, I'll just give you a quick synopsis of this digital service squad. It's basically a group that will come in and assist the businesses with making sure that they get this grant. So these trained specialists meet with small business at no cost to help them complete online assessment and introduce them to online training modules to build their knowledge and skills. They can also assist with the development of their digital transformation plan and then help them apply for a one-time $2,500 grant. And then this assistance can support them with basic web setup, Google My Business profiles, 360-degree photos, digital storefront setup, e-commerce creation, or enhancement of social media presence, and much more. So how that applies to KHR. So for part two, $250 per business with a minimum of $5,000 to a maximum of $150,000. So currently KHR does not qualify because we don't have enough businesses that meet the Main Street definition. So Jody Diddler from the Bancroft BIA has offered to take us under their Digital Service Squad grant so that KHR can have a Digital Service Squad support. Sue Sheridan and I have investigated this lead and find Jody and her organization to be genuine. They've had great success for this grant last year in their local area, and they would like this year to help the smaller municipalities like KHR who cannot qualify for the grant on their own. So I've spoken with all qualified businesses and the majority support this decision. However, they will be able to accept or deny the service. So right now they can apply for it if they don't want the service, but most of them have said that this is a really good thing that they want and they would like the help. So I have requested in writing that I be the administrator for this grant for KHR, and I will be getting training relevant to Digital Main Street program to support the squad. And also I'll be able to help the business should they need or have any questions after the service squad is gone. In addition to that, I've also been taking further webinars offered by this Digital Main Street program to increase my capability to support local businesses in their journey online. So does anyone have any questions about that before we?
Okay, maybe you finish your, and then we'll go back, Chris, because I don't have a full screen of council. So why don't you finish your report and then I can get to a full screen so I can see if council have any questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so go ahead.
Moving forward, item number 3, the Heritage Ecology Society and the Lions Club. So on Saturday, July 11th, 2020, I met with Lynn Postel and the Heritage and Ecology Society and Lions Club, as well as Rachel Clayton of the same organizations. We had a lengthy and extremely productive meeting discussing the present status of each organization, as well as future plans for both organizations. I presented Lynn and Rachel with several fundraising ideas they said they would bring to their boards for consideration. They also have some great ideas of their own, and we collaborated on an idea to create a video for promoting their organizations. So presently, I'm working with the Heritage and Ecology Society on a promotional video for the farmers market, as well as a storytelling series to help promote and document the history of the Hope Farm Museum. In addition to that, as a gesture of goodwill, I printed and laminated COVID-19 signage for the farmers market. Item number 4, Renfrew County Recreational Leaders Meeting. That's actually not the name, I just made that up. We don't have a name for this organization already. But anyways, so on July 16th, I traveled to Pembroke for a meeting organized by Joe Brown of the Pembroke Parks and Recreation Department. All recreation managers and supervisors in Renfrew County were present to discuss the future of sports and recreation during COVID-19 to help establish guidelines for our recreation facilities. This collaboration will help ensure that all recreation guidelines in Renfrew County are the same and that the safest possible procedures will be adopted countywide. A takeaway from this meeting is that few guidelines exist for indoor and outdoor recreation, but they are coming. However, fortunately for us, our one indoor facility, the Curling Canada, has already adjusted its rules and established a guideline. So curling will be able to start up in the fall in KHR. And then guidelines will be coming for outdoor rinks. So stay tuned for that. Item number 5, the business directory. I'm currently working on a business directory for KHR to help make our local businesses more visible and accessible. I have sent council a list of all the businesses I was able to discover in Killaloe, Haggerty, Richards. Currently there are 54 businesses, but I realize I may have missed some. And I'll be asking council and staff to review this list before I post it online. So if you could just check that out when you have a second and let me know if I missed anyone. And then we'll put everything together, and then I'll be making an ad in the newsletter to ask the community to review the directory and add any missing or wrong details, as well as add their business to the list if I miss them. Item number 6, the Killaloe Friendship Club. On July 20th, I met with Roseanne Boucher and other members of the Killaloe Friendship Club. We met primarily to discuss the Seniors Community Grant Program, which is a grant that applies to them. I gave them several ideas about ways in which they could apply this grant for their organization. We then collaborated on fundraising ideas and talked about the services that the Killaloe Friendship Club provides. I realized after speaking with the Killaloe Friendship Club that many organizations in KHR have had few new volunteers sign up in the past years, so I'll be working on a proposal to create a volunteer fair to help our dedicated volunteer organizations gain new members and help support their operations. Once guidelines are available, I will make a proposal to council. I would like to say just to the public right now, if you are considering volunteering, that you please reach out to an organization because they're looking for help and they are looking for new members. So please consider that.
Okay, so
Okay.
Chris, I'll hold you, I'll stop you there. Let's deal with your other items, the 6, and then we'll move on to item 7 once council has addressed, because that's a huge one. Stage 3. Okay, so we'll go, thank you, Sue, for the full screen. Okay, so we will go back to Chris's initial report then. So any questions on number 1, the digital transformation grant? Ted?
I just had a question. The people from Bancroft, is there a cost to the township for that?
No.
No,
So
there's no cost to us.
Perfect.
any further questions on item 1? I don't see Stanley. I don't have Stanley. Oh, there they are. Okay, Sue, thank you. Number 2, the squad grant. Item number 3, the Heritage and Ecology Society and the Lions Club. Well done, Chris. I'm glad you reached out, and thank you for giving them some good ideas and working together. It's good partnership. Any comments or questions, council, on item number 3? Item number 4, Renfrew County Recreation Leaders Meeting, even though Chris named it that way, that's okay. Let's go on to number 5, the business directory. So council, have a look at the list, and if there's any missing, please pass that on to Chris. Item number 6, the Killaloe Friendship Club. And again, Chris, thank you very much for going and working on the partnership. They're very important to the municipality and to the community. We're all working together. Okay, and Chris's report, up to any questions on his report before we start the reopening? Okay, before I get Chris to start on stage 3, so I want the public to know this. We've been working, as soon as Premier Ford announced stage 3, the senior management, the EOCG committee, we started meeting and we started preparing documents to fit stage 3. And we're coming today with the recommendations that the EOCG are making regarding stage 3. I want the public to know that we just weren't sitting around like some of the emails that are coming in, that, you know, we're not being active and we're not being pro. Well, we are. We've been working on it, and we've started the day that the Premier made the announcements. The staff started working, and we as a group, as a EOCG committee, we started working on stuff that we were going to present to council today for your consideration. So I want the public to know that some of the emails are a little harsh, saying that we haven't done anything. There's a process. When the province passed stage 3, they didn't give us a lot of guidelines. So it's kind of a wait and see. We can't do something if we don't know what the rules are. So staff have been working and keeping that information up front. And again, as you know, I meet with the EOCG. We meet twice a week and we talk, and we've been working on this for some time. I want the public to know that. We weren't, some of the calls I got that we were sitting on our hands. No, we've not been doing that. And again, we can't just open something because stage 3, we need to know what the guidelines are, and we have an obligation as a municipality, due diligence to protect our community. So don't blame the staff. They are working with recommendations today, and council makes those decisions. So to the public, thank you very much for your cooperation and for understanding. But again, I want to just add, we have been working on this. We have not been sitting on our hands. Okay, so Chris, now you can get into there's a lot of details in this, so go ahead, please.
Okay, so I'm just going to read from the memo. You already covered the first 2 parts, so I'll skip ahead of that. So I'll say, here's a quick synopsis of the Government of Ontario's framework for reopening in stage 3 as it pertains to our community. Playgrounds are allowed to be open, indoor dining and personal care services and recreation are permitted, restaurants, gyms, escape rooms, etc. A few things like saunas and nightclubs not allowed. Libraries are able to open for all on-site services. Museums are able to open for on-site services. Live music and performing arts are allowed. Recreation course and instructions can resume. Sports with minimal or no contact can resume, and events will be allowed. As you can see, major changes have come from the opening of stage 3. In addition to this, gathering indoors have been increased to 50 people, and outdoor gatherings have been increased to 100. Given we stay the course in this stage 3, the Government of Ontario believes the risk to public health is low enough to resume normal activities, which could be some time. Minimal guidelines are available for processing into stage 3. However, we agree that preparing us for a soft opening of all our public spaces is important. Therefore, we, the EOCG, have prepared a recommendation for reopening in stage 3. We ask Councillor to consider the following. The KHR Municipal Office. The EOCG is recommending that our office be open to the public with the following restrictions as of July 27th, 2020. Access to the office will be at the front door, and those wishing to enter will have to buzz at the front door. Physical distancing stickers, signage will be posted outside with 1 person only allowed in at a time. Meetings with department heads will be accepted by appointment only, and washrooms should remain closed to the public until further notice. The Visitor Information Center. The EOCG is recommending that the water tap at the Visitor Information Center be closed. From a public health standpoint, the mechanism used to offer drinking water may spread COVID-19, and therefore it is not safe for the public. Round Lake Recreation Center. The EOCG is recommending that the Round Lake Recreation Center be open to the public July 24th, 2020. We recommend that swings remain closed until further notice and that proper signage be erected to support this initiative. We also recommend garbage and recycling services resume following the Renfrew County and District Health Unit guidelines. Station Park. EOCG is recommending that Station Park be open to the public July 24th, 2020. Following Renfrew County District Health Unit recommendations, we'll be sanitizing and disinfecting the play structure at 7 a.m. daily, with proper signage being erected to support this initiative. We also recommend that garbage and recycling services resume following Renfrew County District Health Unit guidelines. However, we recommend that the drinking fountain remain closed until further notice. Cheryl Boyle Park. The EOCG is recommending that Cheryl Boyle Park be open to the public July 24th, 2020. The gate would remain open for the remainder of the season. However, washrooms will remain closed until further notice. Swings will also remain closed until further notice, and proper signage will be erected to support these initiatives. We also recommend that garbage and recycling service resume following the Renfrew County District Health Unit guidelines. Hope Park Farm. The EOCG is recommending that Hope Farm Park be open to the public July 24th with some restrictions. Currently, as there are no guidelines from the Renfrew County District Health Unit on events, we would like to wait to address the issue once those guidelines arrive and work with the Heritage and Ecology Society to determine a safe plan to do so. Currently, we would like to allow for the museum, the flea market, and recycling program to resume given all Renfrew County District Health Unit guidelines are followed. The waste recovery site. The EOCG is recommending that waste recovery sites be allowed to accept cash. Work Superintendent Dean Hawley has spoken with staff and established a safe and agreeable protocol for doing so. We recommend giving the public a 2-week grace period where they'll be invoiced for the service to adapt to the revised procedure. Library. Due to the construction, the library will remain closed to the public until further notice. However, they will continue to offer curbside pickup. The library will provide updates on their websites when they are planning to open, and they will also notify the public on relevant safety procedures. We hope that you will accept our recommendations for a stage 3 opening and trust that we, the EOCG, have taken all safety and health concerns into consideration. Some things will need to wait until we have a concrete guideline, or the recommendation outlined in this letter are what we believe to be safe and reasonable at this time.
Okay, well done, Chris. Really, really well done. So again, I will remind the public that since Mr. Ford has announced stage 3, the EOCG committee has been, and that is an emergency operations control group. That's what EOCG stands for. We've been meeting twice a week to deal with the issues. And as Chris has indicated, we can't just open it. We need to have guidelines. We may have to make sure that the public is protected, our staff is protected, the community as a whole. So I'm going to go through his stage 3 reopening, and I'll go through each one that he's mentioned. And then if there's any questions on each one, then I'd ask that you do that. So the first one is, just a second. So the recommendation is that the KHR municipal office would be opened effective Monday, and that only one person be allowed in at a time. They'd have to buzz. If they want to talk to a department head, they would have to make an appointment so that the department head's available and we can do social distancing. And we put up the stickers and those kind of things to ensure. Again, we're going to keep all washrooms closed. Oh, sorry, Sue. You're on mute.
Just that we've lost Tammy and John, so Tammy's gone over to see what happened to the computer. So
I'm sorry. Okay, maybe I should wait. I don't want. I want them to be part of our discussion.
yeah, I went over there, but I'm not sure what happened.
That happened last time too.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
We'll just, council, please bear with us. We'll just get them back on stream because they need to hear. These are important issues for council. If you need a coffee, people go and get one. Are we okay? Okay, there we, there they go. Welcome back, John and Stanley. Sorry, I stopped the report so that you could be included in all the issues because they're very important ones. So the first one is the KHR municipal office. We're suggesting that we would open effective Monday. People would have to come in one at a time. If they wanted to talk to a department head, they'd have to make an appointment, and that bathrooms will remain closed because of the restrictions and the cleaning requirements. We don't have the staff to do a deep clean every time somebody uses it. So with recommendation number 1, is there any questions? Ted?
Yeah, I just have, with the construction going on, is there only one access to the building, or do they still come in from the other end?
Sue, can you answer that?
Okay, right now, Welks don't come to the office. They're going. I did talk to Ontario Works. They're not resuming their office until September. We've talked to Nicole. She's okay with keeping the doors closed because with the construction, they're not going to be ready for service until sometime in August. So everybody at that end is fine.
Okay, so the public can't walk in those doors, they're locked?
No, no,
Okay.
no.
So the only way they'll be able to come in is one at a time, they'll buzz, and if they want a department head, they have to make an appointment so that they're here and that they go directly to their office and they deal with the situation. So any further comments or questions on opening of the municipal office? Those in favor, pick your hand up, please. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, so then we're going to go on to item number 2. I want this issue to be addressed, and then I'm not going to allow it to be brought back. We're recommending that we not open. We do not have to provide water for people. It's not a requirement by law. There is a lot of requirements by the public health. If we did, then we'd have to have somebody wiping it down, and so the recommendation is, and council has made this decision before, but we're suggesting that we continue to not actually. It's something that council consider that we take that tap right out, and there's water that's available through the building, so then we don't have an issue anymore. I mean, COVID might be around for a year or better, so we just, unless council would like to, then we'd have to make sure that the public health gives us the guidelines to be able to clean it after people use it. And right now, Dean doesn't have the staff to be doing that, but it is council's decision. So my recommendation, the EOCG's recommendation, is that it remain closed and we look at taking it out. We can access water for staff through the information building. And that's what is there. That was what it was there for. So council, I'll open it for comments or questions. Ted?
Yeah, I agree with taking it out too. I just know you can tell there's people there that don't even pay taxes in our township taking water. So we have no control over it. And that water costs money and they're getting it for free.
Absolutely. You've got it right on. Anybody else? Carl?
Yeah, we go into a deficit every year. We have to take it out of reserve to support the water plant. And the people that are on the water system are the ones that have to support it.
That's
And,
right.
I've seen a half ton there last year with like 450 or 650 gallon drums filling it up with water. So you got these ones that are on the service that have to pay for it, and we have to go into the deficit to keep it running. And I agree.
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so the recommendation is that we keep it closed and that we take the tap out. Those in favor? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's unanimous. Okay, so that's direction. Dean, you heard that? Dean? Hello? Okay, well, pass that on to Dean. I can't hear him, so but I'm assuming he's on there, so. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, great, Dean, thank you. Round Lake Recreation Center, any comments or questions on that? So it would be open effective tomorrow? Okay, all those in favor of recommendation number 3? John, Stanley, okay, that's unanimous as well. Station Park? Any comments on Station Park in that recommendation? Okay, all those in favor of item number 4? Unanimous, thank you very much. Again, I know as we go through this, there's a lot of work has gone into this. The senior management team, Chris, they've all spent a lot of time on making sure that everything is safe, because we have an obligation to the public. We just can't open things. You've seen what happened in Toronto. They're on the beach and now they're up, 20% more COVID cases. We have to be careful, and council's being very conscious of that. Cheryl Boyle Park, recommendations that we open tomorrow. We're having some issues there, parking. They're parking on the road. We couldn't get a fire truck down there if we wanted. So right now we're hoping if we open the gates, The only thing is, normally we hire staff in the summer. As you know, we haven't hired any summer students. So Dean wouldn't have the ability to go in there and open it and close it. So we would leave the gate open because of COVID, and people can get in there and park, so we can keep them off the road. So we don't have, now their staff are going to be watching. If we're having still a problem of parking on both sides of the road, then with council's permission, we would pass a bylaw to restrict only parking on one side to ensure that the fire department has access to that hydrant and that the fire department can get our trucks in there. The way it was last weekend, I'm told that no fire truck could have got in there. And that's again, it's our responsibility. But we're hoping this will alleviate the problem. If we open the park, the parking can happen inside, so then we don't have the problems. But we're recommending that the swings not be used, and we will be posting signs because again, we'd have to have staff to go out and clean it. We don't have that kind of staff. We didn't hire. Dean has got, you know, is hard pressed getting the job done with what he has, because council, we did decide that we weren't going to hire summer students. So he hasn't got those people at his disposal. Now, are there, and now there's garbage. They're leaving garbage there, dirty diapers, everything. So we're recommending that we put the garbage cans back up and follow the guidelines like Chris talked about, again, to the public health unit. And so we're recommending that we would put the recycling and the garbage cans, and Dean would have to get staff to go out there. Again, it was a mess there. And they broke our lock on the bathroom. We had a lock. I've instructed, just a second, I'm having a problem. Tammy, I'm having a problem with my computer. Okay, I'm back. That's good. Okay, so we're recommending that I told Dean to get a big chain and wrap it around 10 times. I'm joking, but we need to keep that bathroom closed. So we're going to buy a better lock, and Dale is in charge of that. Dale said they were at the other municipality where he was, they were having problems with the same thing. And they bought a better lock that people can't break into, because the minute that door lock is broken off, then we become responsible for the cleaning of it. So we're going to put a heavy duty lock there so that, and people will know, we're going to have signage up that the washrooms are not available for use. And hopefully the people will be kind and put the garbage in the cans and not leave our park in a terrible condition. So the recommendation, oh, sorry.
Janice said Dale already put the locks on, just
oh,
so
good.
council's aware.
Okay. Yeah. I instructed them to go ahead because we don't want people breaking in there. Okay, so everybody's seen the recommendation for Cheryl Boyle Park, Brian?
Yeah, I just wonder, so the swing sets at Cheryl Boyle Park and around Lake Rec are going to be off limits.
That's
but
correct.
That's correct. Station Park, it is opened. So how are we going to keep people from using those swings and stuff?
So all we can do, Brian, is post signs again.
Will the signs be?
No,
cover us then?
I can speak on behalf for Dale there. The belts of the swings are actually taken off, so they can't actually use them. They're in storage. So yeah.
Okay.
And the Round Lake situation, they were going to put that up, and we haven't given them the go. So we told them to wait till COVID is open, so that, you know, that's the other, will prevent usage there.
Yeah.
And we're putting signs up. Chris has prepared many signs to cover, try to do. Now, the reason we're doing it in Killaloe Station Park is because we have staff looking after the flowers. And so she will be cleaning it. And again, the signs are going to indicate that it's cleaned daily at 7 a.m. and using at own risk, but we do clean it once a day. And she will be doing that 7 days a week, so that anybody wants to use that, then at least it's been cleaned in the morning, and then everybody, it's used at your own risk. Okay, anything further first though on Cheryl Boyle Park before I call for the vote? All those in favor of Cheryl Boyle Park? Debbie, are you okay? Good. That's carried. That's unanimous. So the Hope Farm Park, the recommendation is that they could open on tomorrow with restrictions. Again, we're trying to be fair to everybody, and we would allow for the museum, the flea market, the recycling program to resume under the health unit guidelines. Is there any? And Chris, Brian?
Yeah, so will the farmer's market go back to Hope Farm then, or how does that work?
No, we're
Not
not
at this
allowing.
point.
We're not allowing the farmers market. It's just the province has allowed now that museums can open, the flea market and the recycling program. No, the farmers market is now on the Lions Club, and we're not recommending that they move.
Okay.
Any further comments or questions on Hope Farm Park? Okay, all those in favor of that recommendation? Unanimous again, thank you. So again, the EOCG committee are recommending on the waste recovery sites. We're trying to open that up a little more and try to accommodate some of the public with a 2-week grace period so that we can get flyers out and notify the public. So Dean, I know, has talked to the staff there to make sure everybody feels comfortable. And we're recommending that we give the public a 2-week grace period where they're going to continue to be invoiced to adapt to the new, and we'll be accepting cash then. We would take the exact change, I believe, so that they don't have to give change. Is that right, Dean? Is that what we had decided?
We'll try to, Janice, but it's going to be tough that way sometimes. Just depends on the loads of demolition comes in.
Oh, that's
but if they can do the exact change, it'd be appreciated for sure.
Okay, so that's what we're recommending. Any discussions on the waste recovery sites? Those in favor? Unanimous again, thank you. Okay, the library then. Chris did a good update on that. So any comments or questions on the library? Okay, all those in favor of that direction? Unanimous again. So again, Chris, I want to thank you very much for pulling that all together. And again, I want to remind the public that we have been working on this for weeks. The staff, the senior managers, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in with recommendations, for coming in with ideas, always remembering that we need to have the safety of the community first and the staff. So they're really good recommendations, and to the public, we have been working on it. One lady told me we were sitting on our hands, and I have a real problem with that, you know, just because we don't have those doors open, we're busy. The staff are working hard, and we do have to follow regulations. Just opening it up because the stage 3 was announced isn't the way it works, ladies and gentlemen. We have to follow guidelines, and we have to protect our public. So thank you very much, Chris. Well done. And to the department heads, thank you so much. Everyone part of the EOCG, well done. Anything further, Carl?
Will we be putting the garbage cans back in Station Park too?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, anything further on that? Anything further on Chris's report of any part of it? Okay, we'll move on then to the, Ted, we're moving on to the vouchers.
I'll declare.
Okay, duly noted. So let's look at the bills. Any questions or comments on the bills? Mr. Keel?
21810.
21810.
Eagle Leader Publishing.
21810. Okay, Eganville. Okay, Sue, can you answer that?
Yes, that was for the advertising for the shoreline road allowances, which we'll get back.
We got that money back.
We get that money back from the invoices. Yeah, that's,
Whistling.
it's like four weeks.
Yeah,
we have to publish the law. The law says we have to do that. Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Any further comments or questions on the bills?
I had something, Madam Mayor,
Okay, Deb?
and Yeah, and it's just, I think I noticed, and Sue, I know you'll be able to answer this. I think there was a couple of municipalities that we had made payments to, and that just confused me. I didn't know what that was for.
Well, there would be one for Bonnechere Valley, which would be our animal control contract.
Okay, yeah.
And
And I thought
But
another one.
I only seen that one.
What do you got? Yeah, I was looking and I thought, what are we paying a municipality for? That was just my
Yeah, we do have
my question.
contracts, and again, the idea of partnerships and working through. So
there was
Yeah, that makes
there was also one for the township of Laurentian Valley. That was our portion of the advertising for COVID. You know what? Remember we all together?
yeah, we joined together to save money.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I was just wondering what we were paying municipalities
Good
for.
questions.
Thank
Good questions. Yes. Okay. Any further questions? Okay, then I need a mover and a seconder to pay the bills. Moved by Brian, seconded by Carl. Further discussion? Debbie? Further discussion?
No.
Oh, okay. All
No.
those, okay,
No, I was-
all those in favor? Thank you. It's good. All right. So Ted, you're welcome back. We're going then to the correspondence. So the first one is that financial plan, which I'm suggesting that go to the committee, which Carl's going to look after. Is in any comments or questions on that? Okay, then we're moving on to the Ontario Regulations 718, 719 on the Gaming and Alcohol Commission. Okay, then we're moving on to the Ministry of Government Services about the digital focused service model for land registration. Then we're going on to the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the COVID-19 update. Then we're going to, okay, why do I have AMO? That's just mine, I guess, the AMO update.
Yeah, that's your for your
For the
meeting.
Okay. You haven't heard if I got an audience with the minister?
No, I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay, all right. All right, then we have an email from Ann, I guess Pohl is the name. So I'm asking council, we did reply yesterday to some of her points, but I asked the staff to bring it to council's attention. And so is there anything further that you'd like to address to her? She does ask the question of, I'm not recommending we do this, but she's asking that we had a public meeting at the Lions Club. Is anybody, any member of council want to do that? Again, we'd have to find out strict how we could do that, because, you know, it's, okay, Ted?
No, I don't agree with it. I just, she'll be more than welcome to come to a council meeting once we're allowed to have people in the council chamber.
That's right. And we did, yeah, we did answer her that any member of the public can write a letter to us and we'll address it. You can see they're all part of our package and council can address it. So it's not like we're not available. And also everybody can call any one of us. So, and now that we're opening the office there, if they want one, but we're not opening the public, we can't, to delegations until such time as, you know, we get through whatever the stage 3 in the province is going to do. Okay, the next one is Will Barr, our accountant, his mother died. So I asked Sue to send a card on our behalf. And so that's a thank you regarding that. Okay, we have a letter, and this, I guess Dean can take part in. We have a letter from Shirley Prince in front of you. As you know, this issue has come to council a couple of times. So we did, Stanley, you can remind me. I know that I met and I walked that property and we had sort of said that they'd have to get permission. They could build a road, but they'd have to get permission from the landowners, and we left it at that. So now Mrs. Prince is coming back and making some comments. So council, how would you like to address it? Does anybody want to, Ted?
Well, just like, what, is there anything we can do? Like, I know that road access, there's actually a pond in the way that it would have to go on to private property around a pond anyways, right?
That's right. And unfortunately, they've been using that access since many, it's a private road, so it's not an issue for the municipality. The only issue that would be is that road allowance that we walked and we talked about. There's a huge cost, but also because council has listened to our solicitor, and we've talked about this before, we're saying you'd have to get permission from the people that abut it if you want it, but it'd have to be at their cost. It would be a huge undertaking. Yes, there's a pond there and you'd have to go, get permission. So anyways, but it is council's decision. And I will remind council, we have talked about this a couple of times. Okay, Brian?
Yeah, so the letter, the way it states, I think Mrs. Prince wants council to do the work on that road allowance, which I think is up to her or the private people to do it, right? Like, we're not going to open that up at our cost.
Well, she's asking that we do it at our cost.
How many more will we have to open in the township? If we open one, I think it's setting a precedent for a lot more to come then.
Okay, anyone else have a comment before I call for the vote? Stanley, do you have something?
That road has been discussed so many times. I think if you remember, it was once agreed, and this was yet while Rainey was alive, Shirley's husband.
Correct.
And he had kind of agreed to put that road in there. And he had got agreement from John Fabian. He was alive at that time, and those people are all gone now. So whatever went wrong there, they turned around and didn't do it then. We offered that he could sell the timber off of that 33 feet that was against John's property, and use that towards some of the costs for the road. They backed out of that, and he even had signed an agreement to work on that municipal right of way, that he wouldn't hold us liable if he got hurt there or anyone else. So there's a lot of history there with that road. I agree with Brian. If we open that one, we have a lot of road to open.
Good, Stanley. Thank you very much. That's all correct news. Anyone else have comments or questions on the Mrs. Prince's letter? Ted?
Well, just being landlocked like that as a municipality, are we liable for anything at all? Like,
no, it's a private road. They've been using it for many years. I guess I hear now they're just not getting along. So that's why, they're trying to involve the council. So we have a liability on that road allowance because that's owned by the municipality, but the private road issue is among the people that own that road.
and as far as them themselves, do they have any action they can take as like squatter rights for using that road for a year?
Yeah, when I did speak to Mr. Prince at the time, I told him to contact a solicitor because I know the law has changed, and I'm not a lawyer, and I wasn't prepared to give legal advice that I wasn't sure about. So I told the Princes that they should contact a solicitor to find out what their rights were, and I left it with them.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have any comments or questions on the Prince letter?
Janice?
Yes?
I talked to Gary Cross one time on the same thing, and I know that whole area at the back of my hand because I cut out the 100 acres for a landowner in there. But Garnet Cross said he's seen a court case go to court 3 times on the same principle. And if you're landlocked, you can win it out, but you have to go on the old road you used all the time. And he has to cross over 3, the princess has to cross over 3 property owners.
Okay.
That's part of the history of it.
Thank you, John. Anybody else? I really feel it for the princess, but unfortunately we can't. Brian is right. We have to be very cautious about opening a door. Okay, can we then respond to Mrs. Prince? I want to see hands that we're not prepared to open the road allowance as we had indicated previously. Those in favor of that direction? Stanley? Okay, unanimous. Thank you very much. The next is a thank you card. Thank you letter from Sarah. She got the bursary. Any comments or questions on that? That's nice. Very nice that she writes and thanks us, and well done. Next, we have another email from Marlon Paddle concerning the reopening. And of course, as you know, council made a decision today that we do reopen. Everybody has a copy of her email. Do we have permission then to just answer her saying that effective Monday, we will be reopening under the guidelines? Is it everybody okay with that? We want to thank Marilyn for her comments and sending the email in. And we'll respond telling her that effective Monday, there'll be a process and that we'll be reopening. Everybody okay with that? Hands up. Yep. Thank you. Okay, then the Ministry of Housing on the opening, the electronic. Any comments or questions on that? Then the Ontario East Economic, that was one, Debbie, you and I would go. Now they're going to do a virtual. I'm asking council if I can attend. I don't know, Debbie, if you want to take part. Debbie and I always go to this conference. It was in Cornwall, so now they're going to do it by virtual. Council, Debbie, first of all, would you want to take part?
I honestly don't think I can. I have a work deadline that's going to hit at the same time.
All right.
I don't think I can.
Okay, so council, then do I have permission to go? Sue, do you want to take part in that too?
Well, I was going to take a look at what's on the agenda.
Yes.
And, then I'll decide. It's only a 2-day thing, or you can even just do 1 day. So
okay. Well, council, can we have permission, Sue and I, to attend? And if Sue sees what she's looking for, then she could take part as well. A show of hands, please. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, so Sue, could you register me for that? I better write that in.
Yes, it's October.
Oh, it's in October.
October 21st and 22nd. So
yeah, normally it's September.
September,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll mark that in.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so that's all of the correspondence. Is there anything, any correspondence, Sue, that we've missed?
No.
Okay, good. Any questions on any of the correspondence that we haven't touched on? All right, let's move to bylaw. So we need a mover and a seconder for bylaw 30-2020, the shoreline Malva Hill, the third reading. Moved by Debbie, seconded by Ted. Discussion on that motion. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, Sue, third reading short, please.
Bylaw 30-2020.
Then we'll move on to the second one, bylaw 31-2020, shoreline for Malva Hill, the third reading. Moved by Brian, seconded by Stanley. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried, unanimous. Okay, third reading short, Sue?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, bylaw 31-2020.
Okay, so then we're moving to bylaw 33-2020, the shoreline for Glassford. Any comments? Okay, moved by Ted, seconded by John. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Third reading short, Sue?
Bylaw 33-2020, a bylaw to provide for the stopping up and closing of part of an allowance for road along Brennan's Creek.
Good, thank you. Okay, so then we're moving. Is there any unfinished business?
All right, that's
Sorry?
only first and second reading, then third?
Well, you don't have it marked, so I don't know.
Oh, so it was for full.
So first, second, and third?
Well, do first and second and then third.
Yeah, but can I do all three of them today?
Yes, yes,
So the
yes.
motion was for first and second reading.
Second,
All those in
yes.
favor? Carried. Okay, first and second, first reading, short. Okay, go ahead, Sue.
Bylaw 33, 2020 being a bylaw to provide for the stopping up and closing of part of an allowance for road along Brennan's Creek.
Discussion? Second reading short, please.
Bylaw 33, 2020.
Discussion on second reading. Motion for third reading, moved by Debbie, seconded by Carl. Discussion. All those in favor? Carried, unanimous. And third reading short, please.
Bylaw 33, 2020.
Okay. We're moving to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Okay. New business. Any new business? Okay, so we do have some issues in camera. So I want to thank the public. I want to thank the press for taking part in our special meeting today. We appreciate that. And to the public, thank you very much for your patience and your understanding as we get through COVID and the all the challenges that it provides to us. So I'm going to ask Sue to ask you to exit. And to Terry and to Mark, if I want to thank you for taking the time that you take to be part of our meetings so that you can report to the public. So thank you very much.